Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I'm back with another replay that I took from Drop.sc. This one's going to be a ZVZ, and the reason why I chose this one in particular was, well, I don't know either of the players too well, but at the same time, it's something that I typically tend to stray away from. Simply due to the fact that I already play Zerg, and it's quite difficult to actually see it as interesting when you encounter so many ZVZs in a given day, the micro, the macro, all the possible plays that could go with it, and so on and so forth. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get this replay loaded up. Here we go. Now, it looks like both players are going to be... I'm not sure what server this was played on. Masters League Zergs. In the lower right-hand corner, spawning is our Zerg in the red trunks. His name is Mitsuray. The lower left, in the blue trunks, his name is nAnO. And the map we are on right now is Newkirk Precinct TE. Looks like the names kind of spawn backwards in relation to their positions on the map, so I went ahead and hit Control X to fix that. And honestly, the ZVZ matchup, it can be kind of cutthroat, which is why I tend to stray away from streaming these. I tend to stray away from casting these. But without further ado, I guess we can go ahead and get this underway. For those of you who are subscribed to my channel, I guess I can go ahead and tell you that last night I went ahead and called Artosis on the Chanman show. He gave me some solid advice, and I'm just, I'm honored that I actually had the opportunity to talk to someone who cast the GSL of all things. Now, I just wanted to take a quick observation of the map TE. This is Tournament Edition of Newkirk Precinct. It looks as though the space that we have between both players was kind of eliminated, not really entirely, but it was certainly taken down just a bit. It was toned down a good bit, actually. Both players giving out their good games, have funds, and both players are going to go ahead and gear up for at least a mid-game macro game. Possibly with or without Baneling exchanges, maybe some Roach combat, but if it's one thing that I've noticed with the size of some maps, this one certainly being no exception, a lot of players are kind of gearing up more towards, say, Roach Hydra styles, possibly ending the game with Ultras, kind of straying away from the Ling Baneling Mutalisk play. But this one, I think due to the size, the speed of the Zerglings and the Banelings and so on and so forth, I think we're going to see Ling Baneling exchanges perhaps. Other observations that I can make from this map, there is no Xel'Naga Watchtower. So putting an Overlord hereabouts might be a good idea, but I'm not sure how the AI pathing would work if someone was to, say, just click straight up from their main to their opponent's natural or to their opponent's main. First spawning pool is about to finish up for our blue Zerg nAnO, and just as I say that, it does. Now it seems that Mitsuray is right there. By the way, go ahead and comment, and please hit the subscribe button if you would so kindly, but moreover, comment, let me know what you guys think about this cast and so on and so forth. I'm developing contacts that may or may not need an English stream within the China and Taiwan scene, and next semester I'll be going to Korea. So that will definitely open up more pathways for me. There was one event that needed an English caster, but unfortunately they couldn't afford to pay $2,200 to get me there. That was way out of their budget. However, I will say that they would be more than willing to pay for me to go from Korea to Shanghai to cast that event. It's not worth talking about in depth, of course, because it just didn't happen. But here we go. The Baneling nest is there, going down from both players. But the one that we see from nAnO is actually going to be in his main. That means, moreover, it's kind of an offensive Baneling nest, not a defensive one. He's trying to hide tech. So we're going to see, I think, some more aggression, some early game aggression from nAnO, more so than we will from Mitsuray, but it looks like Mitsuray is just going to go ahead and crank out 6 lings anyway. He already has 6 on the way. He's going to use these to scout his opponent, and this number of lings is actually quite a commitment, if you will, simply due to the fact that typically 4 lings is more than enough, but I think he really wants to find out just what his opponent is doing. The Overlord there actually did not see the Baneling Nest. So that's just a little bit critical. And it looks like nAnO's going to go ahead and start breaking away his rocks. Brought that up because... and there it is. The first ling's going to get in there. It sees the Baneling Nest. It did. I'm sure it did. Let's just click on this Overlord to verify real quick. And of course, he also saw that there was a sizable number of lings. Just 3, but of course, now we see that Mitsuray is going to go ahead and crank out 10 of his own. And an immediate follow-up from nAnO, I guess, in reaction to his opponent finding out that he had a Baneling Nest. There's a Roach Warren, and now it looks like we have 4 gases. The 2 with the natural are being mined from, but the 3rd just now got saturated. We have a lot of lings on the way, and I think nAnO's going to have to go ahead and start cranking out some defenses, otherwise Mitsuray's going to go in there and raffle stomp him. He does have 4 lings on the way and 2 Banelings. These Banelings have to make excellent connections here, and it looks like they do kind of thwart the lings for now, and Mitsuray's just going to back off. He doesn't know about the Roach Horn to the best of my knowledge. Let's see. Those lings, so difficult to click on when they're moving that fast. No, he doesn't know about it. +1 missiles. +1 missile attacks as well as Glio Reconstitution now on the way. And Mitsuray is actually really, I want to say, significantly far behind in his own tech tree. He doesn't have his own layer yet. It's about halfway done. And I want to say that nAnO is possibly gearing up for a timing attack, if not some kind of pressure, or just immediately going straight for Roach Tech. He does crank out a good number of lings. I think he's trying to hide that. And immediately we see that ooh, that was a good Baneling connection, by the way. We do see that the Infestation Pit is also on the way for nAnO behind all of this, so let's just wait and see what he's up to. Lots and lots of lings actually coming from Mitsuray. He's got 28 in production, along with these ones that are already out in the field. The 3rd looks like it could actually potentially fall here, and we don't have a lot of Banelings here for nAnO. He's actually just now cranking some out. Overlord spread could be a little bit better. That would actually help him a lot. A handful of lings are going to just continue to pepper away at this 3rd. It looks like the Banelings are... geez, they don't quite connect. But we do have these 4 Banelings trying to go into the natural. The Roach Warren is out. And now we have Roaches that are more than capable of 2-shotting lings. But I think the numbers just aren't big enough yet. And that is actually kind of good positioning for nAnO, even though he is effectively surrounded. He's got 15 Roaches on the way. The first few are just about to pop, so... I don't know, even if these lings actually do get in, they're not going to do too much in the way of economic damage, I feel. The biggest problem for nAnO right now is that he just lost his 2 queens and his forward spine crawler. That's about it. But behind this, Mitsuray is actually going for his 3rd. He's throwing down his fire right now, and he's going to stick with the tech that he's got right now. He's just now getting +2 Carapace. He's got +1/+1 for his Zerglings. And I do want to highlight the danger of nAnO moving out if he chose to in the near future. He can't move out right now because Zerglings will... they will just run past his main force and head into the natural and the main. And that is a lot of Zerglings right there, guys. That is a huge number. I think, possibly that could be more than enough to deal with this Roach Force right here. And the problem is we can't actually see Mitsuray kind of ball them up together, because if they do, the lings are just going to run straight past them. Beautiful fungal growth, but it looks like they're going to get these 2 Infestors. Poor guys. That will actually save the Roaches, I'm thinking, though. For the most part, yes. Look at the units lost so far. It's actually favoring nAnO right now. Of course, those Roaches are more than capable of, I think, 2-shotting these Zerglings. Hold on, wait for it. They're actually trying to surround the Infestor here. And that was kind of a wasted fungal growth there, but whatever. It kills more lings faster. Not an entire mistake. And altogether, I just want to say that it looks like nAnO is coming out just a little bit ahead in all of this, but he must know by now that his opponent is trying to go for mutas. He just has to know, because of the simple lack of gas-priced units, if you will. The 3rd is now up and functional for nAnO. Mitsuray has been long functional for a while now, but of course, if we were to check the army sizes, it's definitely in favor of nAnO. The biggest problem, however, is the hard counters. Roaches do not shoot up, but there are, of course, Infestors. Of course, now that they have projectile fungal growths, it's going to be, and it looks like they're going to actually be forced to burn them on some lings here in the near future. You know, I think the biggest problem for nAnO presently would have to be that he doesn't have the mobility it takes to deal with this. Let's just see how he's able to function against this in the near future. Lings are getting kind of spread here. 3 infestors with enough. 2 on them have enough energy for fungal growth, and it looks like Mitsuray is just going to park himself right here. I do want to just highlight for a moment that if nAnO manages to get some golden fungal growth there, it'll actually do a good deal of damage. Overseer comes over here, sees that there's a third, and he gets shooed away immediately by these mutas. And I think that Mitsuray is not really going to try and overcommit to Mutalisks. No, he's just making handfuls of them. He's not really supply blocked, but at the same time, he doesn't really have the gas income to support them in high numbers just yet. Looks like there was an attempted attack here. All we need is good fungal growth, and we're good to go. Mitsuray's just really throwing these mutas away. That's not the way to use them, bro. And even though we have nAnO kind of contained for the moment, I just want to say that in the long run, I think this is going to work against Mitsuray. One Overseer being chased around by this muta, getting just absolutely bullied. Third, just now getting the gases for Mitsuray, and it appears that nAnO is going to go for economy. So it looks like the style that nAnO really favors would have to be roaches, accompanied by infestors. Double evolution chamber is now on the way for Mitsuray, and this is a huge engagement. Oh my god, the banelings actually get one-shotted for the most part, but they do actually make some connections. Not the best, but connections nonetheless. I want to go back and find those double evolution chambers. Where did he put them? He already had 2 at the natural. Why did he make 2 more? Well, at any rate, the ones in the main are now upgrading +1 missile attacks, and it looks as though we're going to see Mitsuray going for a a Ling Hydra composition. Or Roach Hydra composition, excuse me, for nAnO. I'm sorry, I was a little bit confused, but we just now see Mitsuray going for his own Roach Warren and missile attacks, so I don't know, the transitional mutas, they really didn't get the job done, but to kind of make up for this mistake, we see that Mitsuray is going to go for a 4th base. His supply is painfully low right now, and that's because he's been throwing away so much in the way of resources at his opponent, just throwing away straight-up lings. The Roach spread here is absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful indeed, and I just want to highlight for a moment that if maybe we'd seen Mitsuray go into the main and try to get some drone kills, it would have yielded perhaps some success. But again, it just didn't do it. I mean, altogether, over the course of the game, worker kills has not been the focus of either player. Those lings are just parked there, ready to intercept any 4th base that may go down. Since Mitsuray is already taking his own, he's already cranking out roaches as well. But again, the numbers, as well as the upgrades, I just don't see it going in favor of Mitsuray in the near future. He's quite far behind. nAnO does have superior roach count as well as a superior drone count. I mean, he's got a slight lead, but again, the upgrades and the Hydras in back are really going to add to the DPS. This is, again, not accounting for Hydralisks. We also don't have Glio Reconstitution from Mitsuray. He's actually just exploding his roach count right now. And what is this? Looks like there's a huge ling run by that guy into the main. Spine Crawler. It's going to be able to deal with some of those lings, but I think it's eventually going to be forced to give way. Where are those drones? Ah, there they are. They're going actually back into this main, which is now nearly dry. Ideally, this would be the time to take your 3rd if you're in nAnO's position. Oh, excuse me, your 4th, which actually is over here. I guess those lings were spotted by an Overlord, and here we go. This is going to result in a huge engagement here. Just look at this. Beautiful concave by nAnO. He's also got beautiful fungal growth going down as well. And I'm thinking Mitsuray is on borrowed time. He's not going to last too long here. +2 Carapace, +1 missile attacks to +1 Carapace to +2 missile attacks. There it is. GG, well played by Mitsuray, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Breaker. I will see you guys next time, okay? Please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if nothing else, especially if you're the uploader of the replay. I'd love to hear your opinions.